7 worst Mexico City packing mistakes. We traveled to Mexico City for about a month with only 2 carry-on bags and 2 personal handbags.
We'll share how we saved at least $150 by not bringing certain credit cards.
And why I did not pack heels even though we went to trendy nightlife spots.
And we'll share our packing tricks to bring more stuff in less space. We're Scott and Maddy. We slow travel the world while making money online.
Packing mistake number 1, not bringing your favorite hard-to-get items.
Avoid bringing things that are heavy and cheap, or are heavy but are easy to get at your destination, in this case, Mexico City. So we focus on first packing our small but expensive stuff, or small items that are hard to find. For example, Maddy, you've got these like very specific face lotions and potions and creams and stuff. So we take them. We don't want to waste time and money hunting for these items. Maddy's great at moving liquids and plasmas from big bottles to little travel bottles. Another example are pharmaceuticals. You can get many in Mexico City, but why risk it? Especially if there's something you really need. Take them. Another example, like something I do, are supplements. I have a few supplements where I only like one brand, so I brought a month's supply for our Mexico City trip. An example of what we did not bring was my big old heavy bucket of protein powder. I'm not brand loyal in that case, and we knew Mexico City would have fairly priced options. In a moment, we'll reveal how we easily saved $150 by just packing the right credit card. But first,
packing mistake number 2, bringing the wrong clothes. For a place like Mexico City, you want to bring layers. We went in February and March, and it's pretty cold in the mornings, and then by noon it's about 75, maybe even 80 degrees, and then at night it can get in the low 60s again. So you want to think, sweaters, a jacket that's like a neutral color, those are going to be key for you, and just something that you'd feel comfortable in both during the day and at night. It's a big city. People dress similar to, I'd say, how they dress in New York, especially in like the early fall, like September. And nobody cares really what you're wearing as long as you look clean and you're being respectful. Even the restaurant seemed pretty relaxed, so just be comfortable. And on the topic of comfort, footwear, wear your comfortable shoes. Oh my goodness, we did so much walking, and the sidewalks in Mexico City are the worst. If you watch any of our other Mexico City videos, you'll know what we're talking about.
So there's like potholes, and the sidewalks can be very uneven. Maybe it's from earthquakes or something. So it's actually quite dangerous to wear heels. Did you see any girls wearing heels?
I maybe saw some girls with like a heeled boot. So, boots are great. I wore tennis shoes like every day, but then I had some boots at night with like no heel on them. And, I just make sure that you can walk miles in whatever shoes you're wearing, especially like even if you're at night. I know you can grab an Uber that's cheap or take the metro, but like wear comfortable shoes. Chunky sandals might be good too, but I'd be careful about your toes on those sidewalks. Along with traveling a lot, you want to be respectful of different cultures. So I try to stay more modest when we're traveling, nothing too revealing or low cut. You do you, but that's just what we like to do. And then
I was about to bust out the chest hair. I'm like, no, let me not do that.
Yeah, you're not in Miami anymore. And if you want to make it more fun, or you're afraid of getting tired of your outfits, use accessories. So I like to wear headbands. It also helps if I haven't washed my hair in a couple days. Or jewelry, nice earrings or costume jewelry. That's a great time to break that stuff out. And those accessories don't take up a lot of space, so that's huge.
All right, I'm a dude. I don't know about neutral colors or whatever that was, but hey, that's awesome. I brought like one pair of dark jeans and a bunch of shirts that I thought would match that, and my other pair of like slacks that was also dark. So I didn't what shirts will match these 2 pairs of pants that I'm about to wear for a month? Now, we could get away with that because I really prefer Airbnbs with a washing machine, right? So that really helps. So you should count out the number of underwear and socks you bring, which I always do except for this time. But we had the washing machine, so...
We were there a month and Scott brought 3 pairs.
It wasn't that bad, but kind of, yeah.
We were doing a lot of laundry.
But yeah, we had the washing machine, so why not use it? It was really easy. So we also researched how locals dress. It's something you were talking about. A lot of locals don't wear shorts. It's kind of unusual. So it's fine if you do, like in Mexico City, but you will look more like a tourist. So
Just something to keep in mind.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, packing mistake number 3, bringing the wrong credit cards.
So you don't really need that much cash. Like, we barely used any cash. It's only because I was trying to get rid of it at the end. We use credit as much as possible because we like to earn travel points. The thing you must do, use a no foreign transaction fee credit card. So here's a tip. Capital One credit cards and Discover cards don't charge foreign transaction fees on any of their cards. That's easy if you already have that and you want to use it. Other credit cards, it depends. You can look up if your card charges that foreign transaction fee. Typically, if you're paying an annual fee for your credit card, they won't also charge you a foreign transaction fee. Now, if you're using a no annual fee card, it just depends unless it's Capital One or Discover. So if we had accidentally put all of our expenses for this trip on the wrong credit card, we would have burned up $150 into thin air because you're paying what's usually like a 3% foreign transaction fee. So just avoid that packing mistake. Bring the right credit cards. We're also always trying to earn a new credit card sign-up bonus, and we did exactly that on our Mexico City trip, and that earned us over $900 towards our next flight. So we typically put all our spending on that card, but otherwise use a credit card that rewards us for each category. Certain credit cards give you extra travel points for dining out, others for spending on hotels and Airbnb, and so on. Maddy will share her best space-saving packing tricks in a moment, but first...
Packing mistake number 4, bringing the wrong electronics.
All right, I've made this mistake before and I melted a small appliance that I brought with me. So always check the voltage rating for your destination. In the case of Mexico City, it's the same as the US. Also check if you need an adapter. US outlets are the same as Mexico, so you should be good to go, but I always recommend bringing a power strip or surge protector because too many Airbnbs and hotels don't provide enough outlets. Plus it's good to have extra protection from electrical surges. We had 1 2-minute power outage during our month in Mexico City, so that stuff could happen. You could buy it there, but why waste time doing that if you already have one and it's easy to pack? I also strongly recommend bringing a backup battery for your phone, or that you could buy in Mexico City pretty easily. Losing power on your phone while you're out taking photos or trying to call an Uber really stinks, so be prepared.
Or using Google Maps, you don't want to get lost in a big city.
Yeah, so you want the phone. We're all reliant on the phone, so make sure you have enough power. Now, one day I got lazy and didn't bring the backup battery. I'm like, okay. And we were out all day, and we had to come back to the Airbnb earlier than we wanted because we used up so much power taking videos and photos. But what was cool was...
I had this great idea to go to an Apple store because we have iPhones. So, and thankfully the guys in Polanco at their Apple store were super kind and let me charge my phone for 10 minutes to get enough juice to get us through dinner. Packing mistake number 5, not using all the space-saving packing tricks. So here are my all-time favorite packing tricks. Number 1, vacuum storage bags. So I discovered these last year. I got them off Amazon. I think they were $20. There's 10. I got the small ones because they're actually pretty big.
Wait, hold on 1 second. So as a guy, I glaze over when hearing this, but holy crap, this was like, we stored like triple the things in the bag and I never use this. I don't know why, I just don't do it. You do it, you could bring like triple the clothes. It's amazing how much it compresses.
So these are the small size and they're really big, as you can see. It's like, I think it was like $20. I can't remember exactly. We'll put a link or something in the description so you can see what I'm talking about if you want to research it. It comes with a handheld pump, but I read a lot of reviews and the pump takes up a lot of space, especially if you're trying to do carry-on only. And so I also bought this electric pump that I found on Amazon. We'll link this too. And this thing is amazing. Holy cow, it saves you from the arm workout of trying to vacuum seal those bags by hand. And it takes just a couple minutes. I charge it before the trip and it hasn't died on me yet. So, and it's rechargeable, so it's awesome. Highly recommend those. They've been lifesavers. Another trick that I learned, I think I saw this from maybe another YouTuber. I can't remember. So, those neck pillows that everyone uses on a flight? What you want to do is take out the stuffing and pack it with clothes. It's extra space and you wear it on the flight so it doesn't take up any space in your carry-on and it's not an extra bag to the airline. So awesome tip. I Last time I put like I fit like 2 or 3 sweaters in mine. So it was awesome. And it's still comfortable to use on the flight. So it's a win-win. Another tip that Scott loves is stuffing your shoes. So if you have thick socks, like if you're going for a hike or underwear, whatever it is, stuff your shoes that are in your carry-on. And then, of course, an obvious one is to wear your heaviest and bulkiest stuff on the plane. So like I brought boots on this last trip, I wore those on the plane. And then also you want to pack the hardest to find liquids first. So like I have a vitamin C cream that I use for my face that it's expensive. I can't get it at like Walmart. I know that already. I order it online. And so that one is going in my liquids case first. And then when I run out of space of my hard to find, when I'm done packing my hard to find things, then I start packing like my shampoo and body wash. And if there's not enough space for that stuff, then it gets cut. That stuff is easy to find when you're overseas. I don't care what kind of body wash I use or if it's a bar of soap, it doesn't matter. And like we mentioned earlier, we always try to find, if we're doing Airbnb or like booking.com or VRBO, then we try to find a place with a washing machine. And if you have a washing machine and you're trying to do carry-on only, I'd only pack like a week's worth of clothes, maybe even less for some people if you're comfortable re-wearing your stuff. So that way you're not doing laundry too much, but you have just enough to get you through.
In Mexico City, what you think was pretty easy to find Airbnb with washing machine?
Yeah, so a lot of the times if you're not in the US, you're not gonna find a dryer, which is totally fine. We've gotten lucky, a lot of our washing machines have been the 2-in-1, where it is also a dryer, but just be careful with those because we were in France one time and I ruined some stuff with the dry setting. And then before the trip, you want to make a list. So, count out the number of days that you're going to be there, check the weather app, see what the weather's going to be like, if it's going to rain a lot. Just make a list before you start because that kind of helps you go in with like a more organized mindset. And if you want to go an even step further, I would try on your clothes beforehand and take pictures so that way
No, I'm glad you did.
That way you know, like, oh, I have this outfit. You can just like swipe through your pictures and pick out your outfit without having to sit there and stare at your suitcase or dresser and try to figure out when you're there. You don't have that decision fatigue. Another thing when I'm thinking of taking pictures of my outfits, Pinterest. They have great inspiration for capsule wardrobes. So ladies, if you're trying to figure out what to wear and you can only bring a carry-on, I know it's hard if you're gone for like a month or two, check out Pinterest for capsule wardrobes. That's been super helpful for me. Packing mistake number 6, not having a checklist.
This is so underrated. After not using a checklist for my first few trips, I've been doing this a long time, slow travel, I learned my lesson. Instead of being like, oh crap, like in the middle of the trip, just make a list. It saves you time and it saves you stress. It's just so worth it. So I have a list that I've always used, and Maddy has a more extensive list that's helped. But you know what? We go through the list together, and sometimes, I remind something you forgot, and vice versa.
So another helpful thing when you're making a list is if like a week or so before your trip, however early you like to pack, I would go about your day and make a list of all the things that you use and what you would want to bring with you when you're traveling. So if you're getting up in the morning and you have your cup of coffee and then you have your vitamins, do you need to bring those vitamins or are they easy to find abroad? That type of thing. And then I mentioned earlier, you want to check that weather app just because I know the weather app's not a guarantee. We've had bad luck with that. But if it's going to rain the whole time, you're probably going to want to like not bring open-toed shoes, just stuff like that. And then I always make the list on my phone. Scott has a Google Doc, just somewhere that it's easy to find that you can refer back to for future trips, because that way you do the work once, you don't have to keep redoing it every time you travel. That helps a lot. When you're making that list, you want to count the number of days that you're going to be gone, and then also think about if you're doing any special activities or excursions. Like if you're going four-wheeling, you want to bring clothes that you really don't care about that are going to get muddy and dirty, and that's it.
The very top of my packing list is passport. I just want to see it there so there will never be that mistake.
Packing mistake number 7, not knowing when to pack light and when to pack heavy.
I like to pack as heavy as possible. I don't subscribe to that pack light approach. I want to be as comfortable as we can, having the stuff I'm familiar with that helps me keep my routine. For this trip, it was an experiment to pack everything into carry-on bags. It worked out just fine.
Yeah.
But it reminded me that I do like to bring all my usual stuff whenever possible. There's a reason people stock their home with their favorite pillows and chairs and toiletries and all that stuff. But I will say, pack light when you don't want to carry all your crap around from town to town on the train or up 3 flights of stairs in Italy in the summer heat. Did that happen? Pack light when you don't want to pay checked bag fees because you'll be taking flights all over. Pack heavy when you can plop down in a spot for a good amount of time, and then you save the time and money you'd have to spend to replace your stuff.
For example, we packed light for Mexico City, but we also were keeping in mind our routine. So we brought reusable tote bags for groceries and the gym, but they're also cheap to buy at the supermarket.
So yeah, just think of what makes you comfortable, whatever that is for you, and consider bringing that if you want to pack a little heavier. But if you're gonna pack light, you be prepared. Hey, this is not at home, and there's some comforts of home you're gonna miss. And that's why when you get back, you're my bed. Because there's something about that, right? Or if your bed at home is very uncomfortable, maybe that's why you travel more. I don't know. One thing that's good to know is if your airline is gonna weigh your carry-on bag. This is something we research when we're trying to pack light, because we're trying to pack heavy but also pack light. And the size of your carry-on bag, that happened to us when we flew to Mexico City or Aeromexico. They checked this the dimensions, and you had to put it in the box. They're really strict about this.
Yeah.
Leaving from Miami to Mexico City, but on the way back they didn't check it at all. Strange. But you can check out our airline reviews for more helpful information about that.
So hopefully you found these Mexico City packing tips helpful. If you have any other tips or tricks that you'd like to share, we'd love to hear them. Let us know in the comments. And
yeah, please like, comment, and subscribe. And to never miss another video, please join our free email list on touchdownmoney.com.